What the hell just happened to wrestling? How did we get here? The immortal, the icon, the man who told an entire generation to say their prayers, take their vitamins, and believe in themselves. Gone. Just like that. Hulk Hogan has passed away at the age of 71, and the wrestling world is completely shattered. You can feel the silence, the heartbreak, the disbelief hanging heavy in the air. This isn't just a loss for WWE. This is a blow to the very foundation of sports entertainment. A name that was larger than life, louder than the crowd, and brighter than the spotlight has suddenly gone dark. But then came Roman Reigns. The tribal chief. The undisputed champion. The face of today's WWE. When he stepped forward to speak, the whole world listened. And what he said, it wasn't rehearsed. It wasn't polished. It was raw, real, honest, painful. Without Hulk Hogan, Roman began, his voice cracking just slightly, I don't think I'd be standing here today. I don't think any of us would. Let that sink in. Roman Reigns, the man who's dominated for over 1,000 days, humbled. Mourning. Thanking the man who made it all possible. And he's not alone. WWE legends are lining up one by one to honor Hulk Hogan, but none hit harder than Roman's tribute. Because Roman didn't just speak as a wrestler. He spoke as a father. As a man who knows what it means to carry legacy. As someone who understands that the ring is more than just steel and canvas, it's sacred ground, built by the blood, sweat, and charisma of pioneers like Hogan. This is the kind of moment that makes you reevaluate everything. All the storylines, the feuds, the cheers and boos, it all fades in the face of a loss like this. And yet, through it all, Reigns reminded us why we watch. Why we believe. Why we keep coming back. Because at its heart, wrestling isn't just about championships. It's about family, brotherhood, respect, legacy. Roman continued, saying, Hulk Hogan didn't just pave the way. He was the way. He opened the door for guys like me to dream bigger, fight harder, and believe that a kid from anywhere could become something larger than life. You can't fake that kind of emotion. You can't write it. This wasn't a promo. This was Roman Reigns laying down his pride and lifting up a legend. And yet, amid the heartbreak, controversy is brewing. Because as fans mourn, the internet has erupted into a firestorm. Some are questioning Hogan's legacy. Digging up old controversies. Trying to smear the memory of a man who, despite his flaws, gave his life to this business. And Roman, he addressed that head on. We are all imperfect, he said, staring straight into the camera. But if you measure a man by how many lives he touched, how many moments he gave, and how many people he inspired to be better, then Hulk Hogan is a giant among men. That's leadership. That's class. That's what separates the tribal chief from the rest. Backstage at SmackDown, the atmosphere was unlike anything we've ever seen. Grown men in tears. Superstars who grew up idolizing Hogan clutching their tribute armbands. The production crew, the writers, the fans, everyone was united. For once, not by spectacle, but by shared sorrow. And if that doesn't hit you, maybe this will. Paul Heyman, the wise man himself, choked up as he whispered, he wasn't just the immortal, he was eternal. And now he's passed that immortality on to those who still walk the path he forged. Wow. So now what? What happens when the godfather of modern wrestling is no longer with us? According to inside sources, WWE is planning the most elaborate tribute in company history. Not just a 10-bell salute. Not just a montage. But a full-blown Hogan week, complete with a Hall of Fame retrospective, exclusive interviews, and a final video package narrated by none other than Roman Reigns himself. But that's not all. Reigns has personally requested to open next week's SmackDown. Not in character. Not as the head of the table. But as Joe Anoa'i, the man. The son. The father. The fan. And he wants to say goodbye. Now if that doesn't make you feel something, you might not be human. Because this isn't just a tribute. It's a passing of the torch. One legend exits. Another stands tall, not to replace him, but to carry him forward. Roman ended his message with this gut-wrenching line, Hulk Hogan made me believe in heroes. Now it's my turn to make sure the next generation never forgets him. The comment section is already on fire. Some calling Hogan the greatest of all time. Others arguing about legacy. But one thing's for sure. Everyone is talking. Everyone is feeling. Everyone is remembering. So tell us, what did Hulk Hogan mean to you? Was he your childhood hero? Your wrestling gateway drug? Or maybe the first face you saw when you fell in love with WWE? Whatever it is, don't keep it to yourself. Drop it in the comments. Share this video. Let the world know that the immortal one may be gone, but he will never be forgotten. Because legends don't die. They live on in every chant, every cheer, every match, and every single fan who dares to believe in something bigger. Rest in power, Hulk Hogan. And thank you, Roman Reigns, for showing us how to mourn, like champions. And that's when the lights dimmed, not just in the arena, but in the hearts of millions. The moment the WWE confirmed the devastating news of Hulk Hogan's passing, the energy across the wrestling universe changed forever. Even those who weren't born during the height of Hulkamania could feel the loss. Because Hogan wasn't just a superstar. He was the reason wrestling became mainstream. He was the bridge between the ring and the real world. Your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. And suddenly, he was gone. And then, from the shadows of silence, came Roman Reigns. A man not known for shedding emotion in public, not known for breaking character or showing vulnerability, Roman Reigns stood up. Not as the tribal chief. Not as the undisputed universal champion. Not even as a performer. He stood up as a man, paying homage to the man who helped lay the foundation for everything Roman now represents. On social media, Roman shared a photo that punched the soul. It was an old backstage picture. Roman, fresh in the company, suited up and smiling awkwardly, standing next to a grinning Hulk Hogan in red and yellow. The caption was short. I was blessed to share space with him. My generation owes him everything. Rest easy, icon. No gimmicks. No hashtags. Just real pain. And real respect. But that wasn't all. WWE immediately began rewriting the segment for that week's SmackDown. Roman, who was scheduled for a promo about his next opponent, walked out instead, title draped over his shoulder, the crowd eerily silent, and broke character in a way we've never seen before. No wise cracks. No, acknowledge me. Just a somber Roman Reigns speaking not as a tribal chief, but as a lifelong fan and a humble man. He stared into the camera and said, without Hulk Hogan, there is no me. No WWE universe as we know it. No WrestleMania. No platform for me to be who I am today. He paved the road, and all of us, were just walking it. The crowd erupted. Thank you, Hogan. Chants broke out, some fans crying, others holding handmade signs with the words, Hulkamania forever. Backstage, legends gathered. From The Undertaker to Ric Flair, John Cena to Triple H, every single one of them broke their silence. These weren't just tributes. These were eulogies. From warriors who fought beside him and dreamers who followed his path. But Roman's wasn't just the most shocking. It was the most moving. Because here's the twist. Roman Reigns was never close to Hulk Hogan like some others were. They didn't share eras. They weren't best friends. Their careers didn't intertwine like Cena's and Hogan's did. And that's why Roman's words hit harder. Because when your biggest inspiration is also your distant myth, losing them feels like losing a part of your own origin story. It's like Batman losing the symbol of Gotham. Or Superman watching the last piece of Krypton vanish. And then came the kicker. WWE dropped an announcement. Next WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame ceremony would include an unprecedented tribute. Roman Reigns himself would induct Hulk Hogan posthumously with a speech entitled, Immortal, Always. You could hear the collective gasp from the fanbase. Never before has WWE given such honor to one legend from another active top champion. Roman didn't just speak on Hogan's legacy, he became a living bridge to preserve it. The internet blew up. Twitter trends. Hashtag Immortal Always. Hashtag Hulkamania Forever. Hashtag Thank You Hogan. YouTube videos. Millions of views. Fan reactions. Tribute montages. And the most shared clip. Roman placing Hogan's signature red and yellow bandana on the mat, stepping back, saluting the sky, and whispering, we carry it from here. This wasn't just a moment. It was a torch passing, even in death. But it wasn't just Reigns who felt the loss. Across the globe, messages poured in. From Stone Cold Steve Austin's tearful tweet, wrestling will never feel the same again, brother, to Shawn Michaels posting a throwback photo of him and Hulk in a tag match from the 90s, the reverence was clear. Triple H took to X, formerly Twitter, calling Hogan, the force that kicked open the doors for generations of wrestlers to walk through. And then came a quote that caught everyone's breath. He made wrestling global. He made heroes human. And he made legends immortal. Even Vince McMahon, who has long stepped away from public tribute posts, released an official WWE statement mourning Hogan's death, stating, he was not only the face of the golden era, but a beacon of charisma, passion, and connection with fans that will never be replicated. Inside the WWE locker room, the mood shifted. SmackDown and Raw both opened with a 10-bell salute. The entire roster stood shoulder to shoulder, heads bowed, as images of Hulk Hogan's career flashed across the Titantron. A sea of yellow and red armbands could be seen, worn by superstars across brands as a sign of unity, tribute, and respect. Seth Rollins wore vintage red and yellow tights for his match, pointing to the sky after every move. Becky Lynch tweeted a picture of her daughter playing with a Hulk Hogan action figure, writing, you made superheroes feel real. But one of the most powerful moments came backstage, unseen by fans until leaked images surfaced. Roman Reigns, still visibly emotional, stood silently in front of a giant framed portrait of Hogan from WrestleMania 3. No cameras. No statements. Just Roman, head down, one hand on the frame. Those who saw it said he stood there for nearly 10 minutes in silence before making his way to the ring. What followed next could only be described as legendary. Mid-match, Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, did something unthinkable. After hitting a Superman punch, he tore off his vest, revealing a yellow Hulkamania shirt underneath. The arena exploded. Some fans screamed, others cried. For a man like Roman Reigns to break character in such a powerful way said more than any words ever could. He then lifted his hand to his ear, mimicking Hogan's iconic pose, sending chills across the world. Twitter imploded. TikTok was flooded with tributes. Instagram became a timeline of yellow and red. The hashtag #ThankYouHogan trended worldwide for 3 straight days. And while fans were still trying to process this overwhelming emotion, WWE dropped a bombshell announcement. A Hulk Hogan memorial episode was scheduled. Not a standard tribute. Not just a highlight reel. A full 3-hour SmackDown special, shot at Madison Square Garden, the same arena where Hogan had his first WWE title victory in 1984. Legends were flown in. The Rock, Ric Flair, Kurt Angle, even John Cena made his return, despite being in the middle of shooting a movie in Australia. Cena said in an emotional backstage clip, "There would be no John Cena if there wasn't a Hulk Hogan. I wouldn't be doing what I love, living my dream, if I hadn't watched him slam Andre the Giant and teach us all what hustle, loyalty, and respect looked like." The entire show was a celebration of legacy. Old theme songs played between segments. Crowd signs read, "What you gonna do without Hogan?" and "Forever our champion." But one part of the night completely broke the internet. Roman Reigns came out, not as the tribal chief, but as Joe Anoa'i. No titles, no bloodline, just a man paying tribute to another. Microphone in hand, voice cracking, Roman looked out at the crowd and simply said, "He was the first reason I believed men like us could be larger than life. Hogan was my childhood, my influence, my motivator. He was more than a superstar. He was hope with 24-inch pythons." Then, in a rare and touching gesture, he laid the undisputed Universal Championship on the mat, placed a pair of yellow sunglasses on top, and stepped back. "This one's for you, brother." The screen faded to black. No commentary. No music. Just the sound of fans chanting, "Hogan. Hogan. One last time." And right when you thought you couldn't cry anymore, a tribute package aired showing Hulk Hogan from his first steps in WWE, all the way to his Hall of Fame induction. Overlaid with his voice from a past promo, he says, "I may not be in the ring forever, brother, but the spirit of Hulkamania. That'll live on in every single one of you." Tears. Everywhere. Even in death, Hulk Hogan's shadow stretches far across the wrestling world, casting both a nostalgic glow and a heavy silence over arenas that once echoed his name. His passing at 71 wasn't just the loss of a wrestler, it was the silencing of a titan. A voice, a charisma, an energy that defined generations. And Roman Reigns, the current face of WWE, made it clear, the legacy of Hulk Hogan isn't just etched in plaques and Hall of Fame rings. It's alive. It breathes in every superstar who walks through the curtain with a dream in their heart and a fire in their soul. Reigns' tribute didn't just honor the man, it reignited a challenge to the entire locker room. He said, "We don't mourn to forget. We mourn to remember. And if we really want to honor Hogan, we fight harder. We entertain bigger. We rise higher." The message was loud and clear. From Seth Rollins to Cody Rhodes, from Becky Lynch to Bianca Belair, the new generation stood tall, fists clenched, eyes wet, hearts heavy. Because they knew, they didn't just lose a legend. They lost the one who made the impossible look easy. WWE issued a full tribute episode the following week. 3 hours of pure emotion. Hogan's most iconic moments. His war with Andre the Giant, his unforgettable face-off with The Rock at WrestleMania X8, and that thunderous ovation when he returned wearing red and yellow one last time. The episode ended not with silence, but with a roar of fans from all eras chanting one last time, "Hogan. Hogan. Hogan." Roman Reigns closed the tribute with a stare into the camera that gave chills. "This isn't goodbye, brother. This is, see you at the top." It wasn't just a salute. It was a promise. But not everyone took the moment with the grace you'd expect. Online trolls, those who dare to speak ill in the wake of tragedy, began pushing out disrespectful narratives. Questioning Hogan's past, diminishing his legacy. Roman didn't let that slide either. In a now viral post on X, formerly Twitter, Reigns snapped back. "Don't rewrite the story now. You weren't there in the 80s. You didn't feel the electricity. Hogan was the business. We don't erase that. We protect it." That post hit 14 million views in under 24 hours. Even The Rock, who has his own complex history with Hogan, chimed in. He wrote, "We shared a moment at WrestleMania that's frozen in time. We didn't just put on a show, we changed the game. Rest easy, big brother. The ring will never feel the same without you. Wrestling has lost many greats. Macho Man Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior, Dusty Rhodes, Bray Wyatt, but this one. This one cut deep. Because Hogan wasn't just one of the greats. He was the blueprint. He was the first to truly transcend the squared circle. He was the bridge between the gritty past and the global empire WWE became. And now, with Roman Reigns at the helm, the burden of keeping that fire alive burns hotter than ever.